Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel, dispersed, scattered, but not destroyed. I want to welcome y'all to the truth. We are affiliated with the Ark DFW. We are a part of the Ark DFW. We are affiliated with the Ark in Fresno. I want to welcome everybody to our Shabbat Day class. I am Yemi'el ben Yahuda. I am one of the teachers here at the Ark. To my left, I guess, or to my right, according to this TV screen, is my boy Malak ben Yasharella. Joining us soon will be Yosef ben Israel. I want to just welcome everybody to another Shabbat Day class. I'm glad that you decided to take your time out of your busy Shabbat to, well, not busy Shabbat, but of your resting Shabbat, and coming to spend some time with us as we go through the word of the Most High Yah, and we start breaking down scripture and to get a better understanding not only of who Yah is, but who his son, Yeshua HaMashiach, is. For, like in John chapter 1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was Yah, and the Word was with God, and nothing was made that was made without it. And, it also says that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. So when we talk about the scripture, we are actually talking about the risen Messiah. And so we want to spend some time in his word, getting closer to him, so that we can get a better understanding not only of the Hebrew narrative, but of the understanding of who Yah is and who Yah has been throughout his word, and how we can become closer and get closer relationship with him. Fortunately, today's class is about covenant and relationship, or covenant relationship. We want to break down what covenant is. And this, I want y'all to understand something. We've been teaching in this past year, we've been teaching on these principles to get us closer, to get a closer, not only a closer understanding of Yah, but to bring us into relationship, so that all those things that have been promised to us, we could also become partakers of. And so it has done my soul pleasure to understand during this study, and that not only have we been teaching y'all, but y'all's been teaching us, man. And it's been really growing. It's really been growing my love for y'all and my understanding of what part I need to play in getting my life straight, not only for myself, but for my family. And when it's all said and done, these teachings, we hope that they can bring you closer to Yah. This ain't about us, but this is about your relationship and your connection to the Most High Father, so that you will be able to receive your inheritance. And when me and Malak this year sat down and we had our talk going into the year, and we said that we need to make this to where you can put this into your life, and not only put it into your life, but to use it. It's one thing to hear the word, but if it's not practical and you can't use it or make common sense of it, then we might as well just be talking to a wall. Shabbat shalom, beauty. How you doing? So, what's going on, Stefan? So we are just glad that all of y'all are showing up, that y'all are letting us know that you're in the building. It does our soul great pleasure to when you type in and let us know that you're here and that y'all are following along with the lesson. It does our souls well as well, because our job as teachers is basically to get the word out to you. Now, whatever you do with it, after we put it out there, you know what? I'm messy as hell. Whatever you do after that, that's on you. But you'll never. Hey, man, I done come to the realization that I got a lot of souls to answer for the lies that I told when I was in the church. So on this half of my teaching journey, I don't want to be going before the Father and he telling me, "Look, man, you lied to these folks." This time you're going to be able to go back to this scripture. Now, if you choose to go back to this scripture, that's on you. But that first half, that's all on me. I take responsibility for my wrong. So, we're going to give you something to digest and something for you to put out so that you can teach your family as well, because it's all about us teaching our next generation so that they can grow stronger in the understanding of the Most High, and not only Him, but of this Word. You can't have connection with Messiah if you don't know the Word, because He is the Word. So that was my monologue. That was my long monologue coming into this. We're going to let Malak speak. Shabbat Shalom, Aki. What's going on?
Oh, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, family. Hopefully everyone, again, is having a wonderful Shabbat, being able to sit back and not only rest and relax on this day that the Most High set apart, but also be able to begin to build and connect a stronger relationship or bond with the Most High on said day.
I'm gonna be messy real quick. Say that.
Yes,
say that one part again. You said to build what?
To build a better connection, build a better relationship with the Most High.
Hallelujah.
Yes. Yes. Like I say, it's always a pleasure. Again, and I don't say that as a just as a cliche, but I say that in all sincerity. It's always a pleasure not only to sit back and listen to some of the messages in the scriptures, but it's also good to get to rest and be able to sit back and reflect on my week. Being that a lot of times I'm going from state to state sometimes, or from city to city throughout the week, so I get a chance to see, and not only see but experience different mannerisms of attitudes or personalities, or even see different ways people act or conduct themselves. So it's really humbling for me to really be able to get back to what I say is normal life. And that's being able to sit back and get it, like I said, get into the garden, and get into my prayers, my studies, and also my relationship, not just my relationship with the Most High, but my relationship with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Because again, working for myself, man, working for yourself is one of the disciplines that a lot of people, I think that once you really get a taste of it and you really start to understand the way the Most High created things, I could never, with the Most High's blessing, go back into go back into the workforce and work for somebody else, whether that's corporate America, even to the point where, like I said, I'm getting to this garden and trying to get my own food and stuff like that, man. So it's a blessing for me, man. I tell people this all the time, that I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed. But I turned it out, yield the mic, yield the the lesson or the programming back to you, and Shabbat Shalom, brother Yosef.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, it's just like Negroes. I ain't seen a Negro at my house in weeks. And here comes somebody as soon as we start class.
Hey, you should have one of them two-way mics and say, "Hey, ain't nobody home."
I got one, but I have to come off this line. They gonna sit there like old drawers messing around with me.
Like I saw the video a while back. The guys there with the police and said, "Well, how many of you? Because we should want to talk." Well, he said, "Well, it's two of y'all where y'all talk to each other."
Oh, so Shabbat Shalom, brother Yosef.
Shabbat Shalom.
Introduce yourself to the family.
Shabbat Shalom, family. This is brother Yosef ben Yisrael from the ARC DFW. I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and we're excited, delighted to be with you again, to be able to come over the various social media platforms to preach, teach, and proclaim the gospel of the kingdom, and be able to just fellowship on the Sabbath, on the Father's holy day, on as the Christians say, the Lord's day, a day that He set and sanctified from creation to be a day of rest and a day of reflection, a day of refreshing, a day of worship, a day of fellowship, and we're just grateful to be here today.
Hallelujah. So, hey, um, I'm gonna just put this out here as the disclaimer, so that everybody will know. I don't know everything, y'all, and nor do I ever proclaim to know everything. And on the last 3 weeks or so, Joseph's ear has been talked off from Thursday to the Shabbat. I'm gonna just let y'all know that Joseph, if he ain't mad at me, he should. If he ain't mad, he has definitely logged in his man hours this week, fooling around with me. Uh, man, because y'all, I know this is kind of light on the subject, but I got to bring this up. I be having these vivid dreams, man, and I be trying to share these dreams with Joseph. And I know Joseph be mad because Joseph be like, Yemi be at home all day, not doing nothing. And he be taking these naps, and then when he wake up, he gonna call me and ruin my nap. And I'm trying to get ready for work the next evening, and he want to go through this long biblical conversation. So, y'all, I'm gonna go into the lesson, and I'm gonna give y'all what we're talking about. So, as we all know, we've been discussing grace. We've talked about tithing. We've talked about feast days. We've talked about redemption. We've talked about the the year of release. We've talked about all of these things this year. And the one thing that y'all was trying to tell me about was that this has everything to do with relationship.
Mm-hmm.
From the feast days to the from the high holy days to the holy day, to tithing, to redemption, to release, to all of this. He ain't doing this with people he ain't got a relationship with. And I want to make this very, very clear to y'all, because there's been a lie perpetuated to us throughout generations that you can have relationship minus, and I'm gonna let Joseph say what I'm about to say. You can have relationship minus covenant. You can't have relationship with y'all without covenant. And I know y'all are gonna say, well, how is that true? He had a relationship with Abraham long before there was a covenant. But I want to break this down to you so you can understand this. When Yah introduced himself to Abraham, he gave Abraham some things to do. And by Abraham doing those things, he entered into covenant. You understand? Before the meat was cut, before any of that happened, he was entering into covenant or into relationship with Yah. I looked through the Old Testament. There ain't no word for relationship. At no point will you find the word relationship. So the closest variant of the word relationship that I got to was a word called yada, and that is Y-A-D-A. Yada.
Mm-hmm.
This word was mentioned in Genesis. Go to Genesis chapter 18, verse 19. And when you come across the word, I'm going to stop you. I got to go over this first, y'all. So if y'all don't want to be here for this, there's a lot of stuff that you gonna miss.
You said Genesis 18 and 19?
18, yeah. Hold on, let me get there first. My computer froze on me. Okay, and I'm going through Hebrew. Okay, go ahead.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 19 says, "For I know him that he will
Stop.
command."
That word, I know him, or I know, is in Hebrew is yada.
Mhm.
It's also the same word used every time that it says and Cain or and Abraham. I mean, and such and such knew their wife, and such knew such and such, and Jacob and there were the Pharaoh that came in and did not know Jacob. This word implies relationship. It is a Hebrew word, and it derives from the word, the two-letter root of it is Yad Dalet. Those two letters together are now the word is spelled Yad Dalet Aleph. I mean, I'm sorry, Yad Dalet Ayin. But it tends to, when you break it down, it kind of means, well, it really means, April, can you put that word in the chat? It means to throw. Y'all don't judge me and don't at me. I'm just telling you what this means. That word means to throw. And it kind of means like to throw your hands up. When you throw your hands up, you're in a posture that's not threatening, that's non-threatening. You yada when you go in to hug somebody and your arms are up and you're exposing yourself. This is what yada means. That I knew you means that you've exposed yourself to me, or I've exposed myself to you. It also, if you go further into the word, it's also the root of the word praise. So these two words are synonymous with each other because it's the act before a praise. Praising is putting your hands up, and yada is exposing yourself. So when Yah says, I know you, or I've known you, it is that you've exposed yourself to me, or I've exposed myself to you. But it don't mean that we're in covenant. It just means that we've exposed ourselves to one another. So when you enter into relationship with somebody, see, she just put the word up in the chat. It kind of means that we've moved our hands from our body, we've opened up, and we've allowed each other, we've exposed each other, we've exposed ourselves to one another. The reason why this word has this understanding is because it shows a level of submission or a level of trust to expose oneself to another person.
Mhm.
It's entering into a state of not being guarded. So when we talk about relationship with Yah, because we already know, and I'm sure Malak and Yosef both can add to this. We all know that he's exposed himself to us through his word, but we yet to go into covenant with him in a lot of instances in our lives. Abraham had exposed himself to Yah. Yah had exposed himself to Abraham long before they went into covenant. But then they entered into covenant and had a relationship, a full-on relationship. Any of y'all got anything?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm thinking
No,
about
keep
something else,
going.
but yeah,
Okay.
but keep going. Keep going.
So the word covenant, which is the word, it's barat or barat. It means the cutting of meat. So if you can imagine a fattened calf, a choice cut of meat, going back into Genesis again to show the illustration. Joseph,
Yes.
find Genesis, I want to say chapter 25. What chapter, or 15? Where did Abraham make the covenant where he cut the meat?
That's
That had to be.
yeah, that's way back. That's
That's
in
way back in the. It's 12.
something like that. It would be somewhere around that way.
Let's see.
Hold on.
Probably
15,
before that.
15, 15.
15. Yeah, 15. Yeah, 15. Yeah, that's when he had a vision.
Okay,
Yes.
so this is where Abraham now goes and enters into covenant with Yah. And what Abraham is then told was to collect certain animals
Mm-hmm.
and to separate the animals or to put them into parts, into pieces, and that him and the Most High were going to walk between the pieces. This
Mm-hmm.
word, this word covenant or berit is a is a this understanding is this: to enter into covenant with somebody, meat is cut into pieces and is separated, and as the meat lays on the altar and you walk between the pieces, you attest that if I go against this covenant
Mm-hmm.
that we're making this day, that whatever happened to this meat is going to happen to me if I break my word
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or if I break this covenant that we have together. Berit or Barak. This is very important, y'all, because one is to expose oneself, and the other one is not only to expose, but to take, to be obligated to one. So
Mm-hmm.
I can expose myself and not be obligated to you. So
Can
when
I
we listen, huh?
go ahead. There's something I'm gonna add to that. What you're saying that I
Go
think that would make everything else line up. But go ahead.
put it
Finish.
together.
Finish.
Put it together real quick.
Yeah. You say?
Go ahead and put it together. So then I'll just close in.
Okay. Okay. If we put this in a natural setting, what's happening is, like you said, exposing yourself, or reveal. Look at it from another perspective as also revealing yourself, right?
Right.
Revealing yourself. In revealing the Most High revealing yourself, there have to be an acceptance, right? There have to be
Right.
an acceptance. In acceptance is once the animals or sacrifice, right, on atonement is given, then what's happening is they're going to break bread. They're going to eat. They're going to eat. They're going to partake in this festivity, this meal, right?
Correct.
So when we look at it, like you said this last week about the Most High having these parties, right? We have the Passover, we have Pentecost, Tabernacle, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
what the Most High is doing right now with us, he's introducing himself right to us. He's introducing, he's making himself known. And making yourself known, you're also making what your intentions are. You're giving what your intentions are. Hey, I want to do this, right? Do you agree with it? If you agree with it, then you partake. You know, you would have this breaking the bread, or sharing of sharing of this meal. You know what I'm saying? Or going accepting of this covenant, right? So I was just trying to put it in a setting where we can get a visual of what's really going on. That's all.
Cool. I appreciate that. So as we sit down and to partake of a meal together, you know, we kind of like we plan the meal. That's letting your guard down, getting to know what each other is about, planning what the meal is going to be. Then as the meal is prepared, we both partake in the preparation of the meal. As we eat, we've agreed upon the terms, not only of the meal, but of our relationship.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's, you know, again, it's just the way the wheels in my head go. You know what I'm saying?
You get it?
Okay, we're looking at it as a divide, right? Looking at the animals, right? We're looking at it as a divide, but it's really not a divide. It's really a putting together. I'm gonna make this make sense. It's like when you come into a marriage, you know, half of the DNA comes from the mother, the other half comes from the father, right? They're separated. But once they sit down and they become one, right? They create the covenant.
Right. And you, and in all actuality, you are a sign of the covenant that was created.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Come on with it now. Come on with it. I said, we just got to make it practical.
You're right. You got to do that. So as we go and we begin to teach this, I want y'all to understand something. What you've been taught about relationship ain't true. From a New Testament standpoint, you cannot go into relationship with Yah without exposing yourself. You can't go into relationship without understanding the rules of covenant. And Joseph, if you would, I want you to expound on this, because you can bring it in a way that I can't, because you blew my mind this week.
I should have wrote it down. I did write it down, but it's on my phone. But relationship. Now in Christianity, we come into a relationship with the Father by praying the sinner's prayer. Basically. Or by repeating a phrase or whatever. But that's not a relation. That's not the Yah's terms of relationship. See, a relationship, just breaking down the word relationship, is how we relate one to another.
That's right.
Right? That's breaking it off. Relationship. We relate to one another through these terms. And basically, just to kind of paraphrase what the Father gave to me last night about the Father's relationship with us, he relates to us by, he says, I got to pull this down on my phone. He really, y'all excuse me just a second. I don't want to, if I knock myself out.
He said, I love you.
He set his love on us. Let me get to it. Y'all excuse me just a second here. I hope I don't knock this thing out. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Am I still in?
Yeah. Yes. We still you can't see us, but we can see you. He out now.
He's gone now.
He's out
Basically, well, this will give him a chance to write it down. Basically, I think what he's going to say is he says that Yah says, I love you, and he does what he says.
Yeah.
You tell Yah you love him, and you do what Yah says to do. That is an understanding of true relationship that we enter in with Yah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Again, the Hebraic concept or the Hebraic mindset versus a Western concept or mindset. Abstract, concrete Hebrew, abstract Western.
Yes.
We associate Yah's love through emotions.
Right.
That's Western. The Most High's is about, action. It's about doing. So when we show our love to Yah, what we do is, again, we follow his instructions because he's showing his love by giving us something.
Yes.
And the reason why this is very important too, like Yemi, that you're giving this breakdown is because we typically do this even in our physical relationships with our spouses.
Right.
We want Valentine's Day and to give roses and flowers and things of that nature, but things of that not of substance. Yah's love is filled with substance. It's filled with Yah's love is filled with things that are tangible, things that will benefit not only him but you.
Yes.
And I was telling this to my wife the other day. That's why I'm sitting here tripping as you go over this. We want to romanticize our relationships.
Right.
I'm gonna repeat that again. We want to romanticize our relationships, and there's no Rome. There's no Rome in Yah's covenant.
Right.
You cannot bring the Roman ideology into a Hebrew concept.
Right.
But go ahead, Yosef. Did you write it down? What you want to say, Yosef?
I wrote it on the board.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is as simple as we can get it. The Father, I say. That's the Father. That's what he said. I say. And then my response is obey.
Yeah.
That's relationship.
That's right.
That's relationship. Those are the terms of relationship. The Father speaks because the Father doesn't reveal himself, as Yemi is teaching us. The Father doesn't reveal himself to everybody.
Facts.
The Father revealed himself to Abraham. Abram, we'll say Abram at this point. The Father revealed himself to Abram. He did not reveal himself to Nimrod. He didn't reveal himself to any of those other folk that were on the planet. He revealed himself to Abram.
Yes.
And Abram, the Hebrews, the book of Hebrews teaches us that Abram, how did Abram respond to the Father? He left. He left his father. He took him with him, but he left his homeland.
That's right.
He left his family. He left his kin.
That's right.
He obeyed what the Father said, and that was the basis of the relationship.
Yes.
Father said, leave your homeland, leave to a land I'm going to show you. Abram obeyed and he left. And that was the basis of the relationship. Had Abram not left, there wouldn't be no relationship.
There would be no relationship.
Yah, and this is the thing that people got to realize. Yah ain't bending over backwards for us to be with him.
Yemi, repeat that again. Repeat that again, Yemi.
Yah ain't bending over backwards to be in relationship with you.
And the Father says, I am Yah, I change it not. So y'all check this out. The Messiah says it in John.
Right.
John says it in his letter. If you love me, obey keep my commandments. That's the relationship.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know it's
The
beautiful.
Messiah says, how do you say, why you calling me Lord, Lord? Why you calling me Hamashiach and do not the things that I say?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
If a man say, John says in the back of the book, in the way back for those of us who are in Christianity, almost close to Revelation, John in his letter says, if somebody says they know God and they don't keep his commandments,
they are lying.
They are lying.
And the truth ain't in them.
And the truth ain't in them.
But I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm not trying to offend nobody. Please, people, man, do not take this to be offensive. Please do not. Please do not. What you just explained is how we do our relationships with our wives right now, and a lot of people don't get it. I'm gonna make this make sense, man.
Make it make sense.
I'm gonna make this make sense.
Make it make sense.
Okay. Right now in this country, man, there's especially amongst the so-called black community, there's a feud with the relationships in the role of the woman and the man, right? There's a dispute. You ain't man enough, or you ain't woman enough, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the Most High gave us each a role to do, a role to play. We supposed to be playing our respective roles. Man, protect, provide, leadership, guidance, so on and so forth, right? Provisions. Woman, children, ability, support, submission, so on and so forth, right? But now the roles have basically getting reversed, right? It was an honor. It was an honor during those times for a man to go approach a woman because she know that in that covenant that man chose her. Now, when you take that and you flip it, where is the honor? When the Most High went to Abraham, Abraham was honored to go into covenant because Yah did not approach everybody. Let that sink in. Joseph said that Yah did not approach Herod, he didn't approach Nimrod, he didn't approach all these other people. He approached Abram. Abram left because he knew that by Yah approaching him, that covenant was a covenant that nobody, again, he wasn't going to serve other gods. He wasn't going to have another master. He wasn't going to have another husband. He wasn't going to have another, man or whatever. So, but when we look at today in our relationships, there's no honor with the men and there's no honor with the women because the roles have been reversed. Again, don't get offended with what I'm saying now. Look at ourselves. Just look at it. If we're playing our prospective roles, it would be an honor for a man to approach a woman who's living who the Most High created her to be. And as a man, it would be an honor for that woman to accept that relationship if you are the man that the Most High created. Yes, sir.
When you said that, when Yah chose to go to Abraham, do you know that there was only 2 other people on the earth that had a relationship with Yah at that point?
That's my point.
Bruh, let me just go ahead and tell y'all. Since y'all don't know, or y'all may know and may not understand, when Yah went to Abraham, there was only 2 other people on this whole entire earth that Yah had a relationship with. And I'll name them both. Noah, or Noah, and Shem. Those are the only 2 people on earth.
Check this out. I'm going to add another one, though, really and truly. Melchizedek.
Well, we argue that fact that Melchizedek may be Shem. So
Yeah,
that's why,
that is true. That is true. They
that's
argue
why
that, but nobody have proven that yet. But again, but you're right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that's why I didn't say nothing. So, because in my mind, Melchizedek and Shem the same person.
Yeah.
But I digress on that one. He was in company with great men.
That's the point.
There were great leaders that he was able to glean from and to learn from how to be in relationship with Yah, even before the covenant.
But think about this here, family. Think about this. Each man, each individual that brother Yemi just mentioned, the covenant that Abraham received from Yah was only because he knew that his forefathers had a relationship.
Come on now.
See what I'm saying? So he was, in other words, he was groomed, he was prepared, he was nurtured, he was taught. So when the Most High spoke to him, he was like, you know what? This is what I was. This is what I was made for. This is what I was taught. This is what I was groomed for. This is why we have to get back to what the Most High designed our purpose. This was the whole thing about everything is turned upside down. The men got to get back to being the men of honor, and the women have to go back to being virtuous women. The roles have been reversed, and this is why the Most High is not really dealing with us collectively as a nation, because he's supposed to go to the men, and the men's supposed to go to the women. In other words, just like Yah's coming to us, we were supposed to go to our wife.
How am I gonna set you in the land and y'all screwed up? Y'all gonna bring that same mess into the land.
That's right.
We always talk about come out of her and be ye separate, but your mindset ain't separate. You still ain't playing the roles properly.
That's right. That's right.
And so when we get in the position to do those things that the Father is compelling us to do, because this awakening is really his spirit compelling us to come back to him. And those that can hear are doing. And those that can't, I don't know what the hell they doing. But for those that can hear, they're trying to do.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I would even say this, y'all, and we're about to go into Deuteronomy, because we ain't read that one scripture yet, not all the way through. Let's go into Deuteronomy 30.
Deuteronomy 30.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right.
Now we done laid out the groundwork,
right,
so that you can get a better understanding.
all right.
Whenever you get ready, can't hear you, Joseph.
Can't hear you. We can't hear you, Joseph.
Joseph been reading the whole time. I ain't been paying
attention. I muted myself out. I was muting myself out. Okay. Forgive me, family. Deuteronomy chapter 30. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether Yah thy Elohim hath driven thee, and shalt return unto Yah thy Elohim, and shalt obey his voice, according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy Elohim will turn thy captivity I'm gonna keep it. We can't stop. We can't stop. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading. And oh wow, and have compassion upon me, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether Yahweh thy Elohim had scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from this.
I don't even want you to read. Did this not just explain what we just finished saying?
That's right.
And it don't fit where we at right now.
Right.
Right. But the Father does not.
Go ahead, preach, Rod, because I know that's where you're going with this. Go ahead.
The Father don't reveal himself to everybody. Because our people will look at this, and I know because I was one of those people, will look at this and read this and say, that ain't us.
That's right.
That ain't what he's talking about. And I'm about to weep. I'm on the verge of tears right now because I don't forget. I don't never forget how I would look at this and would not be able to see that this was me. This was us. And I also weep for my people that will look at this and they say, no, that's not us. See, this again, you've been talking about the grace of the Most High, how we can look at this and we see us, we see ourselves, and we see our people.
Yes, sir.
And we laugh, but again, I mean, we laugh and we have fun and we back and forth. But man, when we look at this and we remember where we were and what we've done and how mixed up and confused we were, and the Father in His grace took the scales off of our eyes and we're able to see, man. I bless Him and I praise Him right now. And Malak says it all the time, man. You just look at this and you say, I don't know why me? Why? How is it that the Father would reveal this to us?
We ain't ready for this book.
Our people not ready for it, and they look at us like we got a horn going out of our heads when we read this, and we see we're not in the land. We're in the land of our captivity. No, we're not in chains. We're not. We're not in the slave quarters, so to speak. But we're in the land of our captivity. We've been driven. We've been scattered. We're in Brazil. We're in China. We're all over the world. We're in every four corners of the world. We're the only people. We are the only people that fit this description.
You're right.
And everywhere in the world, we are in bondage. We are the least. We are the last. We are the borrowers and not the lenders. We are below and not beneath. We are the sickest. We are the brokest. We are the most discombobulated people. Everybody all over the world looking at us saying, when they gonna get themselves together? Why can't they get themselves together? You better get this microphone. You get this microphone. I can't.
Come on with it, man. Come on. Come on.
Don't you dare stop.
Everybody looking at us.
Come on.
The Arabs looking at us. White folk looking at us. The Asians looking at us. The Hispanics looking at us.
That's right.
So these Negroes, they don't own nothing. They're always begging.
Come on, come on.
They families is jacked up. They killing each other.
Yo,
Talking about go to the polls and vote, begging for jobs, begging for everything.
Big and
And all the strangers have come. The Asians have come. The Eastern Indians have come. The Koreans have come. The Vietnamese have come. All the so-called minorities are coming to this country and have built businesses, have built established banks, lending institutions, commerce. They built, and they're not marching.
that's right.
Talking about we shall overcome.
Come on, come on, brother Yosef.
They don't have a Ben Crump and they don't have who is the Asians Ben Crump?
Come on, with brother Yosef.
Who's the Asians? What's the women Al Sharpton? Who they Al Sharpton?
They don't
have none.
That's right.
But they got businesses. They've got a trade amongst one another. If one of them don't have a job, they can go and they can hire one another.
That's right.
They borrow from one another. They do business with one another. They profit together.
That's right.
They educate their own children.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
They families in order. Ain't no Asian. Listen, and I hate to generalize, but y'all look at it. I mean, really look at it. There ain't no Asian women. Ain't no Hispanic women. Ain't no white women. Ain't no Arab women running around talking about, I don't need no man.
That's right. Come on.
Black folks.
Come on.
We the only ones that's jacked.
Come on, man.
And the foundation is the home.
Come on. Come on.
All of the men, the Hispanic man. Listen, we ought to be ashamed of ourselves. The Hispanic men are coming here and they'll be in front of a daggum Home Depot. They'll be pushing a doggone ice cream cart. And they ain't making no money. But when they go home, when those men go home, they are the head of their house.
That's right.
And that woman, that Hispanic woman can be making 10 times more than he makes. But when that man come home,
that's right. Come on out with it.
his woman ain't running around talking I can do bad all by myself.
I don't need no help to start.
He ain't walking in the house scared of his children.
Man, they just shut Florida down, man. Come on, man. Pull it out there. Come on. Come on. You on the road.
We got to be, listen, we got to look at this. Listen, Israel. We looking at this and listen, we look at this and the grace of the Most High had been shed upon us to be able to see it. And we got to take this word serious. We got to quit being ashamed, quit letting these Christian pimps make you ashamed. Quit letting your family make you ashamed and telling you you're in a cult and you looking in this word and we see our situation in this word and they got the nerve to tell us we're in a cult. They go get ready and go to church tomorrow and Sunday worship ain't nowhere in that Bible, but they got the nerve to tell us we're in a cult.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
They getting ready to celebrate Juneteenth, celebrating the fact that it was Juneteenth. Come on.
You ask for reparations, they give you a holiday.
Hold on. This is the reality that is so hard to swallow. After so-called slavery, after so-called emancipation of so-called slaves, when they came over the black codes, the Christian black codes, vagrancy laws, and Jim Crow. It wasn't until 1964 when they passed the Civil Rights Act, in 1965 when they passed the Voting Rights Act. So technically, Negroes ain't been free. Let that sink in. Stop letting these people tell you you've been free or that slavery been for 400 years. Stop. The Negro ain't been free but no more than damn near 55, 60 years.
Yeah.
And we around here, we're playing. That's why I keep telling Yemi'el tell you, Yemi'el just mentioned it. He said, Malak always say, we ain't ready for this book. This is why I tell people I don't have time for games. I don't have time for the BS. I'll sit on my computer many a nights looking at these scriptures, crying. A grown man crying because you look at the destruction of your people and they don't want it because either you're in a cult or when you tell them the truth, you're too harsh. I ain't too harsh. I'm trying to wake you up from your slumber, from your foolishness. I had a sister tell me after she keep denying the truth of who we are, had the audacity 2 weeks later to say her and her girlfriend was wondering how is it that people that go to church as much as they do, pray as much as they do, how is it that we are at the bottom and why is God not hearing our prayers? And I'm saying to myself, sister, you can't make this up.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
We haven't been telling you to come get the microphone.
Y'all gonna blame me for this, man. Okay, that's just like us. Okay, touche, my brother, touche. Check this out. Check this out. Why did y'all hate Esau?
Because he turned his way from the covenant. He gave away his birthright.
Say that again.
Because he gave away his birthright. I keep telling people that. It wasn't because of his skin color or the lack of or whatever.
So every time we show you in the scripture that you the people of the book, and you say, what does it matter?
Come on now.
What you doing?
Come on now. Come on now.
What you doing?
Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me what you doing.
You are rejecting the covenant.
You rejecting your birthright.
That's right.
So this is why there ain't gonna be a remnant, but a remnant.
That's right.
Y'all, me and Yosh talked about this last night, which is crazy that it came up to this. The reason why there ain't gonna be but a remnant, because ain't but a handful of people gonna believe they the people of the book.
That's right. Come on now. Come on now.
And he already said the reason why he said come out from her is because if you attach to her,
that's right,
you gonna die.
That's right. Come on now. It ain't hard.
You gonna defend her. Us folks that are in this truth, when all hell break loose, you know what we gonna do? We gonna cut on CNN and watch it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
While y'all out there marching and getting sniped off by the word of the Most High, we gonna sit there and watch.
Again. Jimmy, I'm so humble, so grateful for the fact that again, because y'all supposed to attest to this here again, and I'm not going back, back in the, but what you're doing right now, brother Yosef, we're gonna test this here. He'll tell you, Malak been saying the same thing for years, and people that again, I'm home. It's not that I don't want to teach the book. When I say all people ain't ready, I want to teach it. I'm telling you the reality is again, whether it's your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your sons, your dog, they ain't gonna accept it. You need to lay up there and say, you know what? That's why Yeshua HaMashiach said, anyone who have more love for mama or daddy or sister or brother than for me is not worthy of my love. Because he knew that they're not going to accept the covenant. They Christian, they African American, they Baptist, they whatever, with they all that. They're the children of the covenant. They're not the heirs of the covenant.
You have a group of people who have been smiled upon by Yah. And we know with blessings come curses. Go back, Joseph, and read 1 through 3. Go
You're
back
gonna make
and
me
read
do that
1.
again.
Yeah, read 1 through 3 again.
And it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass.
You living in. Let me stop real quick. You living in this part right here, right now.
Oh my goodness.
Black
When
folk.
all these things are come upon thee,
That's
the
right.
blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahweh thy Elohim hath driven thee,
That's right.
and,
That's right.
and shalt return unto Yahweh thy Elohim, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Yahweh thy Elohim will turn thy captivity and have compassion on thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations which Yahweh thy Elohim had scattered thee.
Y'all, he ain't coming back no time soon. I'm gonna let y'all know now. I, as we've been talking about this, I've begun to realize that he ain't on his way back yet. Because there's a few things. Hold on, Malak. Let me tell them this.
Go ahead.
There, and then the Lord thy God. Look, y'all. He ain't coming back to get us until we get our mind right. Now there are a handful of us that say we the people of the book, and we believe that we the people of the book. We read this scripture right here, and we realize that he talking about us because we the only people that's been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We realize that we the only people that have been placed in bondage. We the only people that have been separated from our land and from Yah, and we realize that this is us. And then 50 million of us, or 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion of us ain't figured it out yet. And we still crying out in the wilderness like John the Baptist, trying to get us straight. You know, until we get on board and just say, look, I'm the people of the book. All those gifts and all them blessings and all those curses pertain to me. What do I need to do to live in Deuteronomy 1 through 15 instead of living in Deuteronomy 16 through goddamn 68? Then we can get our heads right. But many of us are content on living in the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And by you living in the curse, you are actually hurting those who want to live in the blessing. One thing I will say about the black people coming out of slavery. When we came out of slavery, we set up businesses, we set up hospitals, we set up banking institutions, we set up all these things. But we lived good, but the curses followed us. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
Christianity had tainted our brains so much that we still wasn't worshiping Yah.
Mm-hmm.
Why were they able to come through and destroy all those places that we set up and then put us back into bondage? Because they let us out of bondage for about 15 years. They left us alone through Reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, once them Edomites got jealous,
Mm-hmm.
once them Neanderthals got mad,
Mm-hmm.
once them proto-humans got upset,
Mm-hmm.
they came right through and destroyed everything that we established,
Mm-hmm.
and then gave us more Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Al.
I'm gonna add to what you just said in a second, because that's very powerful. The first war that this country had was the American Revolution. They promised that if our ancestors fought, they was going to get them freedom. After that, Civil War. There was a couple other wars before it, Gullah and all that other stuff. World War I, World War II, same thing. Each one of those conflicts, there was a treaty or some kind of promise that was given that was broken. This man have broken every covenant that he has ever established. And what the Most High is really showing us, once we get out of our feelings, this lesson is about the Most High don't go into covenant with people he don't know. The Most High is showing us. It wasn't that so, because there was some of our people that knew who they were now when they burned down these cities and they flooded these cities down. But we still have to realize that the Most High have to let us see, because again, this was fresh out of so-called slavery. Now, the so-called freedom or the liberty that we think we have, now we can look back at our ancestors. See, this is what that was about. You've been able to go back and look at your ancestors. Once you look at your ancestors and then you begin to understand what covenant is, then you can say, okay, well, hold on, according to the Most High, according to the scriptures, and remember, these people are supposed to be a Christian-based society, a Christian-based nation, but yet they broke every covenant. Remember, the book says, if you kidnap a man against his own will, you shall be put to death. Or if he found in his possession, you shall be put to death. So when we start understanding this Bible, we start understanding the Torah, we start understanding this law, this book of law. This man has broken every law under nature, under the heavens. So if you want to continue to be in covenant with him, that is who you have. Again, like you show how much you say, choose this day. Who that was? Joseph. Who choose this day? Who you gonna serve?
I was at Joshua.
Joshua. There you go, Joshua. So saying all that, Yemi and Joseph, it's so beautiful, man, for us as a people. Again, and I'm always wondering, like, why the Most High allowed me to see this. And I got to get to the point where not just wondering why, but humbling myself and just be grateful, even more grateful that he chose me. Because when it's all said and done, whether I see the kingdom or not, I have seen the word begin to come alive and wake up people, and that is the blessing. Being able to see those of us that's choosing to come out and separate themselves, not just by word, but their actions. We don't separation. It's not just that to go move into another nation, like you always say, Yemi. Not just go move in another land or another place, but changing your mindset, changing the way you conduct yourself, the way you live. Your behavior. Once we do that, then it become internalized within us, because we're living the word of the Most High. We're living it through His covenant. So again, I'm saying this, man, because I'm very grateful, because for the longest, Joseph been out here tell you, it's hard for me, man. Besides when I talk to y'all guys, it's really hard for me, man. I don't really deal with people because I've gotten to the point where I just don't talk to nobody because it's pointless, bro. I feel like it's pointless talking to people that they're ready to shoot the messenger than to listen to the message.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. In every conversation that we have, we always go back. Every lesson that we go back in, we always try to expose our true identity to our people, because by exposing the true identity, you can't reject who you are.
That's right.
You shouldn't reject who you are.
That's right.
Knowing now, when you go to church and you tell somebody, and me as a former pastor, telling them, look, you are the Hebrew Israelites spoken of the Bible, and their response is, what does it matter? Then it don't matter. We all grafted in, and I want to tell you, use a lie, because ain't everybody gonna be grafted in. I wanted to say use a damn lie, but
I know you did. I know you did.
But you know, everybody don't get down with me going off like that. You know, how can you say that you're grafted into something that you weren't invited to?
That's right.
When these stars had these big Hollywood parties, there are people that come to the door of that party that are A-listers, but their name ain't on the list. They can't get in unless they are +1. Y'all done set the table for a party with his people. And these Romans and these Greeks and these heathen want you to believe that you grafted in on a party that you wasn't even invited to. The party, you ever notice they always try to invite their damn self to the cookout, and then if they slip through the cracks, they always bring some damn potato salad with raisins in it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we don't need raisins in our potato salad.
Yemi.
Go ahead, Doc.
These people, now they'll quote all that stuff about being grafted in. But y'all check this out. Those of us that come out of the Christian church, and those of you that like Malak, that really come out of the Christian church, that BS they feed us about grafting in. Y'all check this out. 11 o'clock on Sunday is the most segregated hour in America. Y'all, wait a minute. Let me finish. I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna prove it to you. And this is what I had to tell some white folk, some so-called Christian white folk. The Christian church is color-coded.
Right.
It's color-coded. There's a code. If you're a Southern Baptist, you know what that means? You're a white Baptist church. If you missionary Baptist, that's a black Baptist church. If you United Methodist, that's a white Methodist church. If you AME, guess what? That's a black Methodist church. If you Pentecostal or Assemblies of God, that's a white Pentecostal church. If you Kojic, Church of God in Christ, that is a black Pentecostal church. If you apostolic, that is a black Pentecostal church. We in 2023, y'all, in a Christian when they say, are we all one? And I don't know if you spell in denominations, but your denominations is separated by race. And this is what Malak is saying. These people have made covenants, they made contracts, they made organizations, and they still split them up in the color-coded compartments. You can't preach. Listen, Christian, stop listening to people talking about we all one in Christ. We not.
Exactly.
That's a lie. And this man can't tell the truth.
Right.
When he opened his mouth, he lied.
He lied. It's right.
And our poor people, we want to believe that these people are who they claim to be, and they keep proving to us
that they ain't.
They ain't. And we're trying to make covenant with a people that are covenant breakers by nature.
That's right.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You ain't made in the image of Yah.
Come on now.
Come on.
Come on now. I know you, boy. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead on.
Stop sitting up there lying to yourselves and saying that you made in the image of God.
Right.
Go to Genesis chapter 5.
Hold on. Let me pull this up here. Genesis. You said Genesis 5.
Yep. I'm gonna let him read this, then I'm gonna tie this all in.
Okay. 5 and what?
Just start reading. Now these are the generations of people after Adam. That part.
Yeah. This is chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created.
Okay, now I want y'all to understand this. At one point, all mankind was created after this, in the image of the Most High Yah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But there was a fall. Go ahead, read it out.
Okay, and verse 3, and Adam lived 130 years.
So
Oh boy.
mankind existed 130
And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness and after his image.
You know why I'm not
And called, I don't see it. Yeah, I'm just laughing because you're on point. And called his name Seth.
family. You ain't made in the image of Yah. You made in the image of Adam. Yah never lied to you. Yah never broke no covenants. Yah don't sin.
That's right. That's right.
Yah's thoughts ain't evil towards us. But man's image, our thoughts are corrupted. He told you, he said, look, when we go into these lands, don't mingle with the heathen.
Right.
Don't mix with them. Don't worship their Elohims. Don't worship their idols. Don't worship their gods. Stay separate from them in that instance. When you go into these lands to take them over, the lands that I promised to your father Abraham. But Japheth and a lot of us have mixed with these predatory animals.
Yeah.
Come on.
And when you look at the United States, one of the pinky toe of Rome, I'm gonna just say it.
Yeah.
When you look at the United States, the pinky toe on the foot of Rome, the reason why they don't keep no covenants is because they made in the image of man.
That's right.
Yah has never deceived us in anything. When Yah told us to keep his commandments, he said, listen, there's going to be blessings for you if you keep them, but if you don't, there's going to be curses. All you got to do is keep them, and I'm on your team, and you on my team. I'm here with you, and you here with me. I'd be damned if I take the word of some Greco-Roman who have taken our book, changed our religion, because y'all, none of the apostles were Christians.
That's right.
All the apostles were Jews.
Hamashiach wasn't no Christian.
The Messiah wasn't no Christian. He didn't come around changing no holidays. Paul, who they talk bad about, Paul didn't change nothing. Paul never wrote against the law. What y'all see Paul writing against is the Talmud, but y'all don't know nothing because the church done got your eyes blind and you ain't read a book. How can you say that the law is done away when you ain't read the law?
That's right.
I was preaching for 20 years talking about the law done away with, and I ain't even read the damn law. But I was quick to tell you to come and pay some tithes and offering. The law was in effect when it fitted me or when I needed something from it. How we gonna support the church if we don't pay tithes? Nigga, first of all, the Messiah even told you that there ain't no church. There ain't no building. He don't dwell in the places that are made of man's hands. So you can give up the building if you get the message out. Why you think we don't meet in the building? We could meet at each other's houses. But we doing what the work of the Most High is to get the word out. Y'all, if y'all read these first 3 verses of Deuteronomy 30 and you don't see you need to revisit your relationship. Because evidently you ain't in relationship and you ain't receiving the covenant. The covenant is there as a, look, y'all, I'm going to tell you this. Why do they give you a will and a testament? It is not only to make sure that the people that's name is written in the will receive that which was given to them, but it was to protect them from anybody else taking it.
But that's what this book is. This book is a trust. It's a will. How long have I been saying that?
How in the hell you gonna write yourself into something that don't pertain to you?
That's my point.
How the Romans gonna come in and say, look, he was talking to these Negroes all these thousands of years, but today, if you just believe in their Messiah or the Messiah we gonna put up, you can be grafted in to a covenant that ain't even yours. Y'all, hold on, man. I'm about to get mad. Half of y'all still got foreskin around your penis. And so, and don't say that you have to be circumcised. You don't have to be circumcised because Paul circumcised Timothy. After all that mess Paul wrote about circumcision, he still circumcised Timothy.
Oh yeah.
So to receive that part of the covenant, you had to be circumcised to even get it.
The covenant is a covenant. It don't change.
Man, I'm about to get off of here. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all go ahead and finish this thing up.
But hold on, Yemi. Hold on, Yemi. You were saying something earlier. I'm gonna bring it back full circle again. The Most High told our ancestors in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, do not go into covenant with these other nations, right?
Go ahead and read.
Give me that, Joseph. Deuteronomy chapter 7.
Okay.
It's 7 and 6.
Yeah, give me that right fast.
Is it 7?
It should be chapter 7. Yeah, it should be chapter 7.
It's 7.
Okay. And when I'm gonna start at 2. Well, no, I'll start at 1. When Yahweh thy Elohim shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy Elohim shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
Come on now.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy Elohim. Yahweh thy Elohim had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. I'm sitting here laughing now because, again, I'm going to show you how redundant the Most High is and how people don't even get it. This is why I keep saying, man, either our people want to get into this book or they gonna keep playing. This is why these people gave you white Jesus. This is why these people gave you Christmas. This is why these people gave you Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go to the book of Genesis and it says that the sons of God, the sons of Elohim, came into daughters of man, it's the same thing. You are the son. We are the sons of Elohim. We're the sons. Ain't one no 60-foot giants. We were the ones that was in covenant from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning. Yemi just said it. Yemi said, you're not made in the image of God. They were made in the image of man. He's saying the same thing in Genesis as he's saying in Deuteronomy. He just saying it in a different manner. The book is redundant. It's the same thing going over and over and over. But our people are so much into religion, they can't see it because they're looking for angels in the sky. They're looking for 60-foot giants. Bro, they got to get out of the foolishness. They got to get out of religion. You got to get out of the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and all that other stuff. You got to get out of it. And this is why this man again, Yemi brought up another good point. How can you put yourself in a will that was never made for you? Right now, this is why these people own everything, because they inherit things through wills and trust. This book is a will and a trust, and then he turn around and tell you, well, we all grafted in so he can get part of your kingdom, but you wasn't a part of his kingdom while he running it.
Still
gotta open up our eyes, bro.
Still ain't a part of it.
Still ain't a part of it. Still ain't a part. I just showed you, you got your freedom not even 60 years ago. If this man telling you he had to pass the Chinese man ain't got a voting rights bill, a civil rights bill. The Mexican man ain't got one. The Arab man ain't got one. You're the only one with one. So he telling you that he control your destiny. But the minute you stop playing his game and realize that he built his society off your back, you'll start winning.
Hey,
but you want to go into covenant with him.
Five Chinese people got gunned down on the Friday. On the following Wednesday, they had an act about killing. They had a congressional act against killing Chinese folks.
You see that?
Niggas been dying for 4.
Hey, let me hurt y'all feelings real bad, real fast.
Go ahead, hurt me.
LGBTQIA plus.
Elemental P.
Wait. This is their month.
That's right.
See, your month only got 28 days. They ain't been since the 70s, the late 70s, the 80s. They've been to come out as a group. They got a whole month. They got a rainbow. They got all the corporations. All the corporations observe their month. Let me tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all this because my wife brought this out to me. She works for a company, one of the top retail companies in retail. It's the tip of the top. They don't observe no holidays. They don't observe no Mother's Day. They don't observe no Christmas. They don't even play Christmas music in the store during Christmas. They don't put up no things. They don't do nothing for nobody. But guess what? June, they done had meetings and rallies. They got all kind of rainbows up in their store.
Come on now.
They got presidents. They got a so-called black president that legalized their unions and tried to spread their doctrine all over across in Africa. They got an administration right now. The administration right now, they got them all up in their cabinet.
Uh-huh.
But you know the sad part about it, to hurt our the people feel is even more so, Joseph. not only about the month, but every organization always use the plight of the Negro, or let me put another word, of the nigger to get what they want. So the so-called Hispanic, the so-called Chinese man, the so-called Arab man, everybody got their rights or got into the country or got tax breaks or got whatever off your back, and you're in the covenant with them. And guess what? The minute they talked about reparation, all of them say, no, it's not fair. Because you want to go in the covenant with everybody instead of saying, you know what? The hell with y'all. I'm going to covenant with Yah and watch it burn down. Just come back to your covenant and watch it burn down. Yemi said this last week. He said, Malak said, if we just keep the high holy days, we're going to crumble the economy.
You shut it down.
We don't need to get that. I've been saying that for the last umpteen years. If every Hebrew, if every Negro would just keep the high holy days, you will bring the economy to the knee. Matter of fact, to prove that point, Ron DeSantis passed that bill in Florida, and look what Florida going through. And they ain't got nearly the amount of people we got. The Negro can't see it, man, because again, you don't want to believe who you are. You don't want to believe this is your covenant. You don't believe you the people.
It's hard to believe who you are when you wake up next to your enemy.
Yep.
See, when you wake up next to your enemy, when you share a bed with your enemy,
come on now,
you don't want to burn the bed up because you sleeping in it.
Exactly. Sleeping in
it. And the problem is we have, and I'm guilty of this, and I'm about to say this. We joined their military with the promise of education, which is something that they should give to us freely. They give it to everybody else free. You know, we defend their country, we defend their lands, we defend their ideals, and it has not benefited us not once. Our women fight against their men, because one thing they don't tell you is in 1965 we had the strongest family unit of any group in the country. The black family was strong in 65.
That's why they came up with women live.
We come up in 1970 and start telling these white women that went to these black women and told them, you don't need no black man.
That's right.
You know, read this vote, read this what is it? This Cosmopolitan magazine.
That's right. That's
and you start seeing that, you know, this women live, we gotta stick together. You've been sticking together for white women all your life, and the only thing they allowed you to do was cook a meal and nurse their children.
Yemi. What our people don't realize, the movie Color Purple, when the white man punched Oprah Winfrey and knocked her down because his wife
in slow motion.
Yeah, you go watch the movie. These people put the truth in front of our face, and we too stupid to see it.
Slow motion.
You see what I'm saying? The white man knocked her down because back then black women didn't even have to work, and the white women were jealous. The white women were jealous. They wanted they passed laws to get the black woman out of the house to come work for the white woman.
Out of the house.
Yeah. And the sad thing about it is these people been used. Jimmy just mentioned about him being in the military. These people been using the same tactic because they got out of the book. Because go read the book of Daniel. Go read the book of Acts. These people been. If our people don't realize this book is a history book, man, get out of your fit. Get out of religion. They're doing the same things to us over and over and over again. And the book keep telling you, go and ask your fathers. Go back and read the book. Go look at your history. That's why I don't entertain Negroes, man. I don't entertain Negroes. We're talking about they don't believe in the book, or the book was wrote by a white man. I don't entertain the Negroes with that, man.
We got to figure out that when we read Deuteronomy 30 and it starts talking about us and we don't see it, we throw away our birthright and we put ourselves in the same shoes as Esau, and y'all don't like Esau, and so he dang sure don't like us.
That's right.
Or some of us, because I know who I am. I'm a card carrying Israelite. And ain't got no card.
Can you also finish Deuteronomy 30?
Yeah, we're about to finish it now. Let's go into Deuteronomy 30, verse 4.
Okay, y'all, you gonna let me finish this time? I was trying to get through it, and y'all got.
Don't blame me. You went off on your own. You went rogue.
Look, we all part of the blame. We all part of the blame.
Rogue for 30 minutes.
Verse 4, Deuteronomy verse 4, 30 verse 4. And if any of thine be driven out to the utmost part of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy Elohim gather thee, and from thence he will fetch thee. And Yahweh thy Elohim will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Stop. Do y'all know that Africa is separating right now? It is splitting in the eastern portion of Africa is separating itself from the main body of Africa right now. If you read in Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, verses chapters 5, 6, and 7, it's going to show you where the promised land was really situated. And where the Garden of Eden is separated, it was truly situated, and all of that is separating from the main land of Africa.
I'm glad you saw that.
The main continent of Africa, and I'm trying to tell y'all, he's separating your portion so he can put you in it as we speak.
But Yemi, I'm sitting here laughing, but again, I can tell you've been picking up on certain things, man. That's why I be like, boy. I said, yeah, he's starting to see a lot of us again. But it's hard to have conversation with these people, man. This man have went in this book, and he have changed so many things because he want to hide it because he know what's going on. I was telling him this other day. But go ahead, guys.
If you in this book and you believe that the Garden of Eden was in Iraq, you a damn fool.
Come on now, come on.
I want to tell y'all this because the reason why we don't read the book. The reason why we don't read the book is because the church has made it to where you don't read the book. The church has made you just believe what your pastor say.
That's right.
Your pastor gonna get you sent to hell. But I'm here to tell you this: these teachers ain't gonna get you there. I need y'all to read Jubilees. Go from chapter 1 to chapter 7. You're gonna start seeing some stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the animals that were ever in the world, almost every species of animal that was ever in the world still exists right there, close to Mount Kilimanjaro, where the Nile River starts.
Exactly.
And there's a punch bowl or a basin right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna talk about that mountain, what it truly is, because that mountain ain't really made out of stone. That mountain, but that's another story for another. That's an inside story for the people.
Yeah.
You quit brushing Samson off.
Yeah. That's Samson. He won't come up under me right now.
I know.
Go play.
Okay, you gonna let me? Okay. Verse 6. And Yahweh thy Elohim will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart and all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy Elohim will put all these curses upon thine enemies and upon and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. And Yahweh thy Elohim will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for good. And Yahweh will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law. And if thou turn unto Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart and with all thy soul, for this command.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Okay.
Cause listen, y'all. Remember when I taught y'all that when Abraham remarried and got more children, that our lot was separated, that our portion had changed, and that our inheritance was only that little bit of portion? Well, I didn't tell y'all the whole truth about that, and I'm gonna go back and fix that. Regardless of the portions being divvied out, the promise was still to Abraham and his seed.
Yes.
They have forfeited, just like you have, on your portion. So what Yah is really telling us is, if you get back in the covenant with me, I'm going to give it all back to you.
All back to you.
Because the other people that was supposed to be in this portion forfeited. The so-called Arab man worship, they all done turned into Muslims or Buddhists. Black folks, they done turned into Muslims or Christians. They worshiping wood and stone. But none of us have come to the one true Most High Yah and are worshiping him in spirit and in truth with our whole heart, whole mind, whole body, whole soul. What he's trying to tell you is the covenant was set up in such a way that if you denied your portion, those who went back to him would receive it all.
That's right.
Why do you think he's separating portion of Africa off of the main continent? Because that's your portion. So when he returns and places you in your land, you're going to really be surrounded by almost water. There ain't going to be but one way your enemy can come in to get you. Go ahead, Op. And then he turning the curses. Then he's gonna turn the curses of them people that are on you against your enemy. Your enemy is gonna receive the curse that's on you. You remember those questions that you ever asked white folks before? Look, if y'all don't feel like this country is prejudiced, would you trade places with a black person? Name how many of them will say yes.
Exactly.
None.
Because they know we living under a curse.
They know that.
But when he come and pick us up and redeem us back into himself and place us in our land, they gonna be cursed. It just said it. Go ahead,
Verse 11. For this commandment, which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven?
Where is it not at? It ain't in heaven.
A lot of people.
I'm trying to make it. Y'all excuse me, please excuse me. And bring it to us that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say.
Joseph, I don't want to stop you, man.
Yeah, go
ahead. But I got to. When our people in religion hears Joseph, they're looking in the sky. They're looking in the sky. The Most High is talking about the earth. He's talking about the planet. He's talking about the whole body.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is nigh unto thee in thy mouth and in thine heart, that thou mayest do it. Let me say something real quick, Yemi. I got you.
I've been waiting.
That passage, this passage I just read for y'all, for them lied on Paul about he done away with the law. What I just read to you, 11 through 14, that is almost verbatim in Romans chapter 10.
Yep.
That's right.
But let me move on. Verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command thee this day to love Yahweh thy Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And Yahweh thy Elohim shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other Elohims and serve them, I denounce you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whether thou passest over Jordan to go and possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love Yahweh thy Elohim, that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which Yahweh sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
This is why when people come against Paul, I just shake my head. Because when you read the so-called New Testament, the Brit Hadashah, all these brothers were always quoting or paraphrasing something out of the old covenant. This is why it's embarrassing to listen and waste our time arguing with people who want to make this book a religious book or want to take it out of the context that this covenant is by some magic wand now is given to everybody, when even Paul mentioned that he is a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Again, but now you a spiritual Jew. You can only be a spiritual Jew if you keep the law spiritual.
Paul said that too. Paul said the law is spiritual. You want to be spiritual?
Keep it law.
No, go ahead. I had to,
I knew this was gonna get y'all, boy. I knew this was gonna get y'all this week.
You, like you said, you want to be spiritual, keep that law.
Okay. Yeah, and what's crazy is half these folks don't know that Paul was writing not against Torah, but against Talmud.
That's right. That's right.
He was writing against that very same thing that these dang guys that be walking around with the little curly things and the big ass hat and the black and white suit and be walking around rocking with the Toledo on. Yeah. And won't talk to you, but was quick to imprison us and put us in bondage and send us over here to these countries. He was talking about what them folks be following.
Mm-hmm.
Half of them folks don't even believe in Yahweh Elohim anyway. Most of them don't believe in Yah.
Well, see, what a lot of people don't realize is if they do their studies, when our people were taken into captivity up there, and we wound up in Spain, Portugal, and all those regions, they when they would teach anybody, they would only give them like Talmudic stuff. They wouldn't give them the law. They wouldn't give them Torah.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was against our covenant to give them Torah. You know what I'm saying? But they would give them like they said, the Talmudic foolishness.
The rabbinical teachings.
There you go, the rabbinical. That's what I was looking for. There you go. They would give them that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, like my grandma said, the proof is in the pudding. When you look up the term Ashkenazi, if you put that if you take that and put an I on the end of Ashkenazi, you see that Ashkenaz and Nazi are both from Germanic people.
Yes.
You see that? It's just that simple. These people tell you who they are. They're Germanic. They're Japhetic people. They're not Shemitic.
Mm-mm.
Matter of fact, even in Hitler's Mein Kampf, they need to go watch the documentary, the greatest story never told, because the Nazis and the Zionist Jews went into covenant, and he gave them Austria, but they broke it to get into Africa.
The only reason why they in that part right now is because, man, look. We don't want to discourage you, y'all, but we want y'all to understand this. You have a birthright, and we done gave it away for less than a bowl of pottage meat, pottage soup. At least Esau got full off of him giving it away. We ain't even got full.
Yeah.
If we full of something, he's full of crap.
It's right.
Esau never admitted the fact to his father that he sold away his birthright.
I tell you what, one day we'll touch on that Esau stuff too. I got some stuff, man. I put away. I might have to go back and get it.
I'm so sick of these folks, man. Look, there was more than just Esau that was against us.
That's right.
I want y'all to understand that there were more nations than just those who pertain to seed of Esau that were against us. Mm-hmm. There were many that had the seed of Abraham that was against us too.
That's right.
And what we have to realize is, as a people, that our goal ain't really to worry about them more than less than it is to worry about us. Mm-hmm. We need to embrace the law.
Right.
The law. What does it say in Psalms? The law is perfect.
Yeah.
Is that like Psalms 50 or something like that? That the law is perfect.
Hold on.
The law does not.
The law of Yah. That's Psalm 19. Okay. Says the law of Yah is perfect, converting the soul.
Right.
So how in the world is the law bad for you if in Psalms it tells you that the law is perfect concerning your soul? Mm-hmm. Your soul is tied to the law, just like Yah's soul is tied to the law. Love him with your whole heart, whole mind, and whole soul. Mm-hmm. Because if you do not, these curses will follow you. The reason why we ain't getting ahead as a people is because we ain't keeping Torah. The reason why we ain't getting ahead as a people is because we've denied our birthright. Mm-hmm. Those Hebrews that have accepted the fact that you are Hebrews, when you start talking to people and you tell them you the people of the book, and they look at you and say, why does it matter if you're a Hebrew or not? Walk away. Don't even answer them.
That's right.
Because what's going to happen is you're gonna lose your salvation fooling with a fool. Mm-hmm. My dad said there's no way to tell who the fool is if you see two people arguing. Mm-hmm. But when the smart man leaves and the fool is still arguing with himself, then you already know.
Right.
It's almost been 2 hours. We done went ham. We done went unkosher today. Y'all, I want y'all to focus your studies. I'm going to tell y'all this. Start reading the book of Jubilees. If you don't have it, go to Audible Books and just purchase the book of Jubilees and listen to it. Start getting that book into your spirit. The reason why it starts to make some sense of some things that have been left out or some parts of stories that you haven't seen in Torah. Push yourself to start reading the Apocrypha books. If you don't read all of them, at least read the Maccabees and and Ezra.
Ezra's, yeah, I was going to say Ezra's, yeah.
Read Ezra's and read the Maccabees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That period that you have lost is going to help you get a better understanding of New Testament thinking and theoretical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, stop rejecting who you are. And stop telling your kids that they Americans or that they African Americans. No, you are Hebrew Israelites. You are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov.
Mm-hmm.
You are the sons of the Most High Yah. You are his chosen people. And if you don't teach your children that, they are going to fall for everything, just like you fell for everything. The church has not taught you anything except how to submit to a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't nobody named Jesus Christ walking around in Israel. Not ever.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find no tomb with the name Jesus Christ on it. You know why? Because that person does not exist. He is a figment of Leonardo da Vinci's imagination and his bed. I'm going to leave that one alone too. That person that y'all be running around bowing your head to, he wasn't the one that was hung on a tree for you.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Yeshua HaMashiach, the son of, well, they would call him the son of Yaakov, or the son of Yeshua, the young son of Joseph, Mary boy, a Miriam's son.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to get this through y'all's heads, man, so that you can live life. You don't. I'm done. So, anything y'all got to say?
No, it's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Beautiful
What about
discussion.
you, Yosef?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, here we go. Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Y'all, remember, we love you. We thank you for your time. We thank you for allowing us to come in and to share with you the word of the Most High Yah, to sharing with you the truth of Yeshua HaMashiach and who he is. Next week, we're going to still be going over this relationship and covenant, y'all. So y'all need to get in on this. Start thinking. He said like a Tarantino flick. That's a fact. Yeah, you need to read the book of Maccabees. Y'all got to read it. Y'all could read through the whole book of Maccabees and by this week. But y'all, I want y'all to get back with me. Leave feedback in the comments. Because I don't kill the comments, I don't think, on any of the videos. If you're new, like, share, subscribe, hit your bell notifications so that you can be here on every Shabbat at 1 o'clock We will be teaching the truth, and we will be giving you the word of the Most High Yah. We love you here. All the brothers, we just want to tell y'all Shabbat Shalom, family, and enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, family.